I'm Eric Scott, and welcome to the latest edition of The Energy Show. Ron Urban, President and CEO, Advanced Solar and Energy Solutions, here with me as always. And we're talking about residential solar today to start. And a lot of you, I know, you're skeptical about the whole solar industry. Why? Because there's a lot of bad contractors out there. There's a lot of bad deals. There's a lot of scams. We're going to help educate you about how not to be taken advantage of. We're going to educate you about how renewable energy and energy efficiencies are supposed to work and how we're not just going to save you money. We're going to eliminate your electric bill and we are going to make you money. And Ron, we've been on this campaign now for years to try to debunk all this bad information, misinformation, scam information about the solar industry that gives it such a bad name.
So by the way, in your introduction, you just said something that's key that we really don't emphasize in our shows. He said renewable energy and energy efficiencies. It's two different things. The big guys are there for a quick buck. They're there to rip you off, finance your system, screw you for the next 25 years. So we go out and we meet a lot of people out there. We're sitting with Jim Casella today. Jim Casella was engineer did a lot of government work, worked on a Tomahawk missiles. He's an expert in research and things. Jim actually works with us now. He does part-time with us for research because it's so important to know what's going out there. We've done millions of dollars worth of work for Jim in his residential projects. Like Jim's going to talk for himself a little bit of what happened when he even called for a residential solar guy to come to his house, and a little bit about the knowledge and briefly just touch base with you. And this is a person that has an engineering degree that's so important to us, the way we look at it. We're here to educate people, not to BS them or trick you into signing something right away.
Yeah, Jim, thanks for joining the Energy Show. So talk to me about your experience, because I think we kind of went down a similar path. When I first met Ron and he was making all these promises, I was really skeptical about that. And I had dealt with some kind of shady contractors that said they were going to do solar and save me some money. Was that pretty much what you were dealing with as well?
Well, it was. We called several different contractors. I was actually interested in ground mount systems. Okay. And nobody really wanted to do that. And I didn't want panels on my roof with holes through the roofs and things of that nature. So I listened to your show a couple times, but every time we had somebody come out, they wanted to either lease the system to us or they couldn't do what I was asking them.
Right.
So when Ron came out, he went over with my wife and myself, and we were real impressed with what he had to say. And it turned out he didn't really push a ground mount too much. He wanted to do a roof mount, which was fine. But then I had limitations on what I wanted to do on a roof mount.
Sure.
I wanted a metal roof, which is what we're going to get, or what we're getting. But it turned out there was a lot of other damage to our house that Ron had mentioned. So we put a lot of money into the house, and he basically rebuilt the back of our house from the ground up.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know of many solar contractors. Was anybody else you talked to even come close to trying to think about doing that?
No, that was over that was an addition.
Yeah.
That was just extra. And he's been very good about what we ask him to do. So
yeah, and it's what I think is interesting is that he was also the only guy that ever came that spelled out, and we call it the Book of Ron because it literally goes page by page on what the return on your investment is. It's pretty shocking to kind of see those numbers. And did he meet those numbers for you?
Well, we're still in the process, but yes, he's doing very well. He's doing everything we've asked and more, really.
So some of the stuff that they were doing for Jim, right? And I don't believe in what our government tells us to do half the time, even though I'm supposed to. But he read our state of New Jersey's requirements for everything to be electric. He's an engineer. He understands if he puts everything electric, his bill is going to double or triple.
Right.
Quite frankly, we don't have enough grid size to do what our government wants us to do.
That's a whole other energy show.
Right.
Yeah.
But honestly, we changed his heating system, his hot water heating system. By the way, he has backup power now We changed his whole electric service. He has one of the newest design panels that could control everything. That's one of the highest integrators of all electrical systems on residential projects. It's brand new. So Jim researches a lot of the things that we do. He works for us now, and that's all he does is research. And something as an engineer, he didn't want the hundreds of holes you put in on a shingled roof, which we guarantee. I couldn't talk him out of it. So by the way, but he had a roof put on not too long ago. When we took the roof, we had to take the roof off, and everything was shot.
Wow.
The builders, the roofers, everything we did in his house had to be almost replaced. And on top of it, Jim had a great point. A metal standing seam roofs, which are real popular in houses now, there is no penetrations. On top of that, which blows my mind because he's a pain in the butt, and he just keeps researching and researching. He found we could do this in our commercial industry as a metal seam roof now, but when we do that roof, there's a color pigmentation that certain companies put in, and there's 30% off of that roof because it's energy efficient. So we shop everything, review everything, goes through our engineering departments and stuff until we could get you the best system and the best thing for your house. Jim helps us. He's one of our best people working for us because he finds half the stuff that some we don't even know about. And the next flip part is to get these incentives that they tell you you're getting. And it's a mile of things to do.
The 30%. They change every year though. And when you need to explain, I don't know if you want to explain that some of that.
Well, something that we're emphasizing in these shows, you better do it now.
Yeah.
Because our new administration is going to change.
That's correct.
By the way, the biggest incentive in solar is 30% tax deduction, which before President Biden came into office, it was almost going to be gone. It would have been gone by now. He reignited it, and it's going on with many other, through his act, other energy efficiencies where people get money back and whatever. So we have customers that have their car chargers, trucks we put in and things for them. We upgrade their services for these things. By the way, we help them get their car charger incentives. Commercially, it's huge, and we almost get them all their money back, which is a whole different thing with the car chargers for commercial buildings. So we do a lot of things, and a lot of things Jim researched and found out for us, and he stays on top of it until our customer gets that check.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the danger when you're dealing with things like this 30% tax credit, and you're dealing with some of these rebates, and you're dealing with a lot of these other incentives. They're very lucrative for you as a homeowner or as a business that's looking to put into the system. Nobody knows about these programs better than Ron and Jim and the other experts here at Advanced Solar and Energy Solutions, but they could go away at any time. That's why it's important that you take advantage of this now. These are the things that help pay for your system and get you on the path to making money off of your system. These are also, by the way, all of the incentives in rebates and other things that your leasing contractors are taking from you. That's why you can't make money off of that type of a system.
So something that's really important, and Eric is talking getting on the path, I'm getting off the path. I get yelled at all the time. But by the way, if you're a nonprofit, there's a big, huge incentive that's going to go away. That incentive is so huge, it's a form of a check for you. It's going to go away shortly, but any nonprofit, you really, really should look at this. I don't care who came and showed you solar. We get this in the commercial world all the time. We're not interested, but once they talk to us, it's a whole different thing. You'll get this money. Your church, your VFW, whatever you are, a nonprofit agency, your time is now and the window is really getting close.
Yeah, and the reason that I started working with Ron on educating people is because he came and installed my system. I purchased my solar system from Ron, what are we talking about, 6 years ago, maybe? Might have been longer than that. And so imagine this, not only was I getting my solar renewable energy credit every month deposited directly into my bank account, we're talking about real money here. He eliminated my electric bill. That's $600 to $800 a month in cash flow. I paid my system off using that improved cash flow in about 3 years. The money I made off of my system that Ron installed literally paid for my son's undergraduate college education. That's how much money I made off of my system. It's a no-brainer. If you look at the numbers and you actually look at, what the return on that investment is, why wouldn't you do it?
Which you do not get from other companies.
Because those are the incentives they take.
They take your incentives. They have all these programs. They want to lease you a system. And the biggest thing for homeowners, no money down. When you hear that, run.
Yeah.
Run. They're just stealing all your money. You don't understand how bad and what they're doing. When we come, you're going to get a book. The book's going to have everything in there where you can look it up, where your accountant can look it up. And mostly, we leave it with you. They will not give you a contract until you sign it. What kind of monkey business is that?
Yeah, you will understand everything. Literally, you'll understand everything before you're asked to sign anything. That's the difference with Advanced Solar and Energy Solutions. Jim, thanks for joining us. I loved hearing your story. I was skeptical at the start too. Look, I'm a believer. Ron has the experience, decades of design and build insurance, well beyond, just going into the installation of solar panels on your home. The combination of renewable energy, energy efficiencies, audits of your home, you will get it all. Please, before you sign anything, before you go with one of these leasing companies that is promising you something for free, call Advanced Solar and Energy Solutions, have someone come out, give you the education, and keep watching The Energy Show.